This is a segment from one of my recent live streams in which I showed viewers how to pick the right social niche for their models, plus evaluated creators who are performing extremely well on Instagram because they picked the perfect niche. I publish OFM educational content and podcasts multiple times a week and live stream every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you are in the business of OnlyFans, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any uploads. Also, if you want to watch the full stream, the link is in the description. I'm going to move on now to our last creator, and then I'll answer any other questions. So this is Pokey Freya. You'll notice that this creator only has 127 posts. She just started about half a year ago, so her oldest reel is 26 weeks old. This is a creator in a niche that I specifically am interested in and was looking for content creators for, but I was having a hard time finding OnlyFans content creators, so I was super happy that I saw her. And she's at a really achievable follower level, so this is something that I want anyone who's relatively new to OFM or who has a creator that's around let's say the 5,000 to 10,000 follower mark, and you're really trying to get her up to the next level. This is a perfect example. So 43,000 followers, 127 posts. She's got 12 million views across those 127 posts. And so average views per post, almost 100,000, 2.29 VTFR. This is excellent. And again, I believe this is an independent creator. So this is really, really, really good stuff for somebody that's this new. So something that I've mentioned, I think in previous live streams, and I might have mentioned in educational content too, or used it as an example, is Pokemon. This is this is another one of those things where it's kind of like fitness, where Pokemon is a huge thing. There's probably over 100 million people worldwide who play Pokemon or who are interested in Pokemon. So I was specifically looking for Pokemon content creators who have OnlyFans just for this live stream. But again, Pokemon is a huge, very broad category, and there's many subcategories within Pokemon. So her specific thing is that she just opens packs or opens Pokemon merchandise on camera. And a lot of it is, I guess there's a random element to it. When you open a pack of trading cards, you don't know what cards are going to be in the pack. And so I'll explain why this kind of works really well on multiple levels in just a second. But basically, this girl's thing is that she is a Pokemon card and merchandise collector. Something I really like off the bat is that she works this into her character. She works it into her bio. Her reason for doing OnlyFans, is how I pay for my hobby. I think that that's kind of fun and clever. And I think that it also demonstrates an understanding of the audience, because my very limited understanding of this niche of content is that most people who are into Pokemon as collectors consider it an expensive hobby. So once again, we have a male dominated hobby, but this time, instead of being really masculine, I'm chopping wood, I'm fishing, I'm hiking or whatever, or I'm in the gym, it's more nerdy. So this is another direction that you can go in with I think somebody requested a goth girl. This is the closest that we're going to get. And a majority of her stuff, again, is just opening packs of Pokemon cards or merchandise and seeing what she pulls. And this works on a few levels. First of all, she only cares about reaching the Pokemon collector niche audience. And lo and behold, because she's focused on a very specific audience, her content is consistently performing well, very well relative to her following size. Again, 2.29 VTFR, that's huge. And she's already growing at a pretty fast, pretty steady clip. As an independent creator who doesn't have who's not doing a bunch of paid ads and other doesn't have the resources to grow super fast, 6 months in with almost 50,000 followers is awesome. And once again, 2.29 VTFR. She's over 10 times better than Sophie Rain on a pound for pound basis. Again, Sophie Rain, biggest creator in OnlyFans, almost 9 million followers. And this girl is outperforming her pound for pound by a factor of 10. That's insane. But on top of all of that, the content's just really well put together. So let's watch a couple of things here. So opening a $2,000 ETB. So presumably this is a $2,000 pack. Let's just see what happens. So I'm going to pause really quick. Notice how quickly it moves from scene to scene. So I'm going to restart it again. Everything that she's doing, it starts with the hook of just her blinking, opening a $2,000 ETB just to feel something. Her face is dominating the frame. On a visual level, all of this works really well. If you're interested in Pokemon, she has the thing right here. So presumably, if this is something that you're enthusiastic about, you're going to instantly recognize whatever this is. All of that is present from the first frame. And then 3 seconds in, we have our first cut. she shows what the box is and the price. So she purchases for $2,000. That immediately sets people up to be like, oh wow, $2,000. This is an expensive thing. She's going to open this expensive thing. I wonder if she's going to get what she hopes she gets. So she's setting up anticipation right away. And I think that like somebody might have pointed this out in the chat already. A big element of like pack opening or unboxing type content is that there's kind of a gambling element, and so it scratches that like like playing slots, whatever that part of your brain is, that dopaminergic feedback system of watching somebody gamble almost like elicits the same feeling as gambling. Fast cuts, like every 2 seconds, every second and a half, there's a cut. So she keeps it visually interesting the entire time. She's touching the thing, loving the texture. So she's sharing with the audience the tactile experience of unboxing it. She's making it feel as real as possible to the audience. Like she likes the feeling of unboxing. She understands the language and is able to communicate the feeling of unboxing. And that's like, you can feel that in the content. And we're probably like 15 to 20 seconds in, we're still watching, right? And like, obviously that's why this reel performed really well. Now she's going to cycle through the cards. It looks like there's a bunch of packs. Anyways, you guys get the idea, but she keeps it interesting throughout, right? There's like, it's all up fast cuts. There's a tactile element. She really understands the experience of unboxing these cards, and because she understands it so deeply, she's able to produce a piece of content that legitimately presumably feels like unboxing whatever this thing of cards is. And so the audience connects with that. They are interested in that. They become interested in her as a consequence, and that's all of her content. All of her content, by the way, I think is really well edited and really well produced for what it is. She's clearly put a lot of thought into this, but yeah, really well produced content. And again, a very clear example of like, she knows her exact niche. And I don't think this is a small niche either. There's probably, I would hazard a guess. Something that I would recommend do, like when you're thinking about niche selection, is if it's Pokemon cards, how many people just go to ChatGPT and be like, give me your best estimate based on well-informed reasoning, like show your reasoning, how many people you think do this thing. And then that's like your I would say cut that in half. If the number is 10 million, so let's say 10 million people play Pokemon cards, cut that number in half. That's probably the number of people that are going to be doing it on socials, who are interested in that content on socials. So this is a niche with a potential total addressable market of, let's just assume that my 10 million number is accurate. I actually don't know, but let's assume that it's a total addressable market of 5 million people. And she's able to fully saturate that niche and be like the Pokemon unboxing OnlyFans girl creator. Holy shit. That's like infinite money. There's so much money in that. And if she's the only one that's doing it, like she has a monopoly on that niche, and people have to come to her for this specific type of content. And moreover, they're going to want to come to her for this specific type of content because she understands the experience and she communicates it very well to the audience. So hopefully this has been illuminating. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of what I'm actually talking about now that you've seen practical examples of what really good niching looks like, and like understand the principles of deeply understanding your audience and selecting a niche and sticking to it. Like this is how you build a dedicated following base. And this is how you do OnlyFans marketing through organic social in 2026 and moving forward. So it's really not that hard. You just have to get a little bit more creative. Like you just have to understand that thirst traps don't work anymore. Like would we like to live in 2019 through 2024 again, where you could just have a hot girl and she could do like funny dances and you could get 1 million followers and a multi-million-dollar OnlyFans page off the back of that? Sure, that'd be great. But the reality is, like, no matter how much we wish we were still there, we're not. And this is the new content ecosystem. It's interest-based media. Figure out what your audience is interested in, and then figure out how your creator can make content that people actually want to watch within that interest, within that niche, within whatever that interest is. And that is the recipe for success. It's that simple. If you want to get absolutely cracked at organic social media for OnlyFans, be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel, because that is all I talk about, and you will not find this level of depth anywhere else on YouTube. Also, check out my website, facelessfrancis.com, which has tons of valuable free resources for both agencies and creators, the waitlist for my upcoming marketing course, as well as my free Telegram community, all of which is linked in the description. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.